Good afternoon. My name is Sylvia Bass. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I work at the University of California, Irvine in the Office of Information Technology. I've been with the campus for 23 years. I started out at the help desk and moved into front-end web development in the late 1990s. I continue to mix the things I love, which are user experience and design, with a healthy dose of helping people. I have been managing our WordPress multi-site installations since 2009. I'm not a programmer or an application developer. I feel very out of my league here in some ways. But what I am good at is project management, learning applications, troubleshooting, documentation, and great end-user support. What I plan to share today is how UC Irvine has used WordPress multi-site to create a popular web hosting platform for small websites and blogs. We are celebrating our 10-year anniversary of running a WordPress multi-site service. This is how we got started. In 2008 and 2009, I was part of a committee investigating how best to facilitate podcasting at UCI. After much discussion about what type of service to offer and what technology to use, we realized that some of our solutions that we were looking at coupled blogging with podcasting. Initially, we wanted to decouple the blogging aspect, but we found that instead we could fill a different need and offer a blogging service to the campus. We had just started using WordPress to publish our monthly newsletter and decided to try a one-year pilot of WordPress MU, which was the precursor to WordPress multi-site, to see if there was an interest on campus. There was. The one-year blog pilot, Blogs at UCI, became a campus service by 2010. By 2011, we had rebranded to UCI Sites because we were hearing from our clients that they liked the service, but they wanted to build websites, not just blogs. We used a directory path method of WordPress multi-site, so the blog domain, blogs.uci.edu, was discouraging some people. A simple rebranding of the service and a change to the domain name to sites.uci.edu made it more attractive to more users. We also introduced a companion service tailored to faculty called Faculty Websites in 2011. The two services we offer, UCI Sites and Faculty Websites, have a lot in common, but differ in a few ways. UCI Sites. Any UCI faculty, staff, or graduate student can log in to create an account and/or create a new site. This requires no intervention from us. As long as they have a UCI Net ID and are not an undergraduate, they can create a site. Undergraduates cannot create sites, but they can be added in any role to an existing site. UCI affiliates log in using our single sign-on, which we call UCI Net IDs. We have a custom plugin using our web authentication called WebAuth that logs them in and checks their affiliation when they are creating a new site. Creating sites is free to our end users. OIT covers a cost of support, maintenance, hosting, and some commercial plugins and themes. We do not have a limit on how many sites they can create. This is not necessarily a good thing, as we do get our fair share of Hello World sites that we have to manage later. We have two templates available when they are creating a site. One is for a blogging site with the front page displaying the latest posts. The other is a website format with a static home page and a separate page for blog posts. One of the most common questions we used to get was how to create a static home page. The templates let them get started more easily and has cut down on the number of support calls. Both templates use a campus-branded theme based on the Genesis framework. Site owners are limited to the available themes and plugins we offer. Over time, we have cut back on the themes we offer, as our older themes are not mobile responsive. New sites use the UCI Campus branded theme, but they can change this to any of the other network-enabled themes. For additional themes, we focus on finding ones that offer customization within the user interface to make it easier on our clients. We limit media uploads to 250 megabytes, but we will increase that to 1 gigabyte upon request. Oddly, that hasn't been a problem for our users, so we have kept the limit low and simply increase it when needed. We created faculty websites in 2011 at the request of our IT partners at the school level. They were looking for a simple service to move their faculty towards. They hoped to have a central solution for simple sites so they could focus on more customized solutions. One problem we wanted to solve was continuity. Graduate students often create a site for their faculty, but when they graduate, no one is left to manage the content. Some sites were built in proprietary tools that are no longer available. Now faculty can simply give access to the next graduate student, and the work can continue. We based the initial service on UCI sites, but we added some sample pages and customized themes. Here are a few key differences between UCI sites and faculty websites. Sites are created upon request for faculty only. They cannot auto-create sites. We handle these requests through ServiceNow. We have 2 templates, one for a personal site with appropriate sample pages. The other is for a lab website with different sample pages. We base these sample pages on research of similar sites. All sites have a static homepage. None are set up like blogs. Media uploads start at 1 gigabyte. We rarely have anyone ask for more. We have partnered with some of the schools to create custom themes that match the school's branding. I'm going to talk a little bit about the things I think that we have done well. First, we chose WordPress. This software has allowed us to offer a service that most people can figure out on their own. It has scaled beautifully. We offer end-user support and write online documentation through our Help Center. We host about 2,700 sites and have an average of only about 40 support issues per month, which is quite low. We have averaged about 325 new sites per year over the past 10 years. This graph shows the new sites created each year since 2009. Our peak years were in 2013 and 14, but we still get close to 400 new sites per year, showing that it is still a popular option. Next, we make it easy to create new sites. Unlike other services on campus, it is easy to quickly create a site. The campus does not have one content management system. We use a mix of Cascade Server, Drupal, and WordPress. WordPress is growing in popularity for both more advanced single sites and other multi-sites. For example, the School of Biological Sciences uses it for their content management system and runs their own WordPress multi-site for their main site and their department websites. UCI also has Google Sites as an option. This is a service we steer undergraduates towards, but OIT doesn't offer support beyond the provided Google documentation. However, we do offer robust user support and documentation for WordPress. When we first began, we were new to WordPress, and we really weren't sure how to offer it as a service. I looked to WordPress.com to see what they offered, both in themes and plugin offerings. We downloaded a big theme pack from WPMU Dev and let users choose from a wide variety of themes. Because this was meant as a blogging platform, we didn't focus on campus branding, yet. I modeled our help documents on beginning WordPress courses on lynda.com, focusing on how to get started using WordPress. Recently, I wrote a Gutenberg guide to help people understand the new editor. We've taken an opt-in approach to Gutenberg by installing the Classic Editor plugin, and we allow our admins the choice of whether they want to turn it on. The Classic Editor is on by default. In addition to the basic support offered by our help desk, we have 2 full-time employees who do Tier 2 support as part of our jobs. We answer the more complicated questions, and we try to help clients troubleshoot issues they are having or find solutions within our basic framework. We are conservative and selective in our approach to adding new plugins and themes to keep the service stable. Looking back over the past 10 years, there are definitely some things I wish we had done differently. Initially, we wanted to help everyone without yet understanding the limitations of running a shared service. We were open to plugin and theme suggestions and installed and network activated plugins that we thought would be beneficial to most of our users. Over time, we started realizing that we were not helping everyone by saying yes too often. Plugins get abandoned. They also cause conflicts and security risks. We now spend a lot of time trying to gracefully remove outdated plugins. We help to solve this by starting to offer optional plugins. We no longer network enable plugins. When we do introduce a new plugin, we allow people to request it via an optional plugin request form. This allows us to see who is actually using the plugin so we can work with them directly if we have a problem or if we need to move them to something else. I have found that by reaching out to our users individually, they are quite accommodating. For example, last year we had a problem with Ninja Forms and we needed to move our clients to a new solution, WP Forms. We knew who was using the plugin, so helping them was easier. For new plugin requests, we keep a list and use that to evaluate features we are missing. For example, we had a lot of requests for a Twitter feed plugin, so we found a solution and followed up with everyone who had requested that feature. One of the biggest issues we still face is how to set expectations for the service. We have a page called "Is UCI Sites Right for You?" and we do ask people to read it before signing up, but not everyone does. We still get a lot of questions about how they can install a new plugin or themes or how to get FTP access. We point to our existing documentation that explains that as a free, shared service, we need to keep things stable and approach new installations with care. On WordPress multisite, all sites share the same plugin and themes. We also offer advanced web hosting and point clients to that if they outgrow our free service. With advanced web hosting, they can have their own WordPress installation with more options. I like to compare it to a dorm room versus a house. UCI Sites is like a dorm room in which you share the same bathroom and kitchen with a lot of other people. You can decorate your room, hang some cute curtains, but you can't tear down walls or bring in your own stove or refrigerator, or have a lot of cats. However, it is affordable compared to renting or buying your own home. If the dorm life is too restrictive, we have single-family homes if you have the budget. Here, you can remodel more freely. In this analogy, you can have your own WordPress installation where you are more free to install your own themes and plugins. Some people prefer that option, while others are satisfied staying within the multi-site framework as it is more affordable. For most of the 10 years we have been running these services, I was the sole full-time staff member assigned. 2 years ago, I was out on medical leave for 6 weeks and had someone from our help desk backfill support. I was lucky enough to get extra help after that, and I now have another staff member, Mike Huang, assisting me. We also have a system administrator, John Mingrich, who is assigned to our services. We meet weekly to go over support issues, development, and maintenance. With the added staffing, we were able to complete a number of bigger projects last year. For example, we added SSL to all of our sites, including the ones using custom domains. We moved the sites to new, faster hardware with a newer version of CentOS. We upgraded PHP and MySQL to current versions. And we were also able to retire a few outdated plugins that required querying the database to see who was using them. Part of running these types of services is the ongoing maintenance. With multi-site, we can update all of the sites at once, which makes the service more scalable. We rely heavily on WPMU Dev plugins for administrative needs. We've licensed their plugins since we began offering the service. They have had the best plugins geared towards multi-site management. Their announcement in May of giving up 90% of their plugin catalog has left us in a bit of a quandary to see if we will have to change how we do things. I don't have an answer to that yet. The plugins are still available via GitHub, so we are okay in the short term. Our current network-enabled themes are mostly the WordPress core themes and some Genesis framework themes. Our default theme was built by UCI's Strategic Communication Office using the campus branding. Interestingly, we have found that most people stick with the default theme. We have been beta testing the Beaver Builder theme that comes with our Beaver Builder plugin license. We've shared it with some of our more advanced users who like it. I've also used it on a few sites and liked the flexibility it offers. We try our best to find themes that will allow our clients to design a great-looking site without being coding experts. It's part of our DIY ideology. Part of our maintenance is managing aging plugins and themes. I keep a spreadsheet of all of our installed plugins and the dates they were last updated. Anything older than 2 years gets tagged in red as an abandoned plugin. We then evaluate whether to retire it or find a replacement. With optional plugins, it's easy for us to tell who is using it. Since clients opt in, we also don't have as many sites using them. However, we didn't implement optional plugins until 2013. We still have a few network-enabled plugins that we do need to retire. This requires checking the database for things like shortcodes so we can compile a list of who is using them. Themes are easier. We use a plugin called multisite enhancements that lets us know who is using individual themes and non-network-enabled plugins. As sites get archived or people change themes, we can delete the ones that are no longer being used. We've already network disabled older themes, so they are not available for new use. This degrades nicely, as the older themes are still available for sites actively using them, but not to anyone else. The other big maintenance issue we have is archiving and deleting inactive sites. Per our user agreement, sites not updated in 24 months are considered inactive. Currently, this is a manual process. We create spreadsheets with the URLs of the inactive sites, email addresses of the administrators, and the date the site was last updated. We then use this data to send out email letting clients know that their site is inactive, giving them the opportunity to update the site if they want to keep it, instructions to delete it if they do not, and a date when it will be archived if they do nothing. We keep the sites in an archived state for another 6 months before deletion. This is a lot of work. We are planning to create a plugin to make this an automated process. I attended Eric Sembrat's session this morning about this very topic, and I look forward to trying out his solution. If you're interested in creating a service like this, I'd like to share a few tips that will make it more likely to succeed. First, have someone own it. If you have someone who takes pride in the service and offers end-user support, it will be more likely to succeed. As good as WordPress is, you need dedicated staff who care and who will continue to try to make it a better service. Also, don't network enable plugins unless you have to. If you have a large user base, you need to know who is using each plugin. Plugins get abandoned and will need to be retired or replaced. We do this by having optional plugins available and letting our clients opt in for use. Next, write good user documentation and keep it up to date. Our support requirements are low compared to the number of people we have using the service. We only average of about 40 support issues per month. We can often point clients to the guides if they haven't found them already. We write new guides based on the questions we get. Look for ways to improve. While we are conservative in installing new plugins, we are often looking for new features via themes and plugins we can provide. We started offering Beaver Builder as a page builder in 2017. Beaver Builder is an intuitive drag-and-drop page builder that offers features similar to Wix and Squarespace. Beaver Builder has been a popular option and has cut down on the number of new plugins requests we get, as it includes many features in its modules. We have the Pro version installed. We also offer WP Forms as a Forms plugin, WP Accessibility, and Custom CSS as an example of a few of our optional plugins. Offer custom domains. We started offering custom domains in 2011. We currently have 83 on UCI sites and 44 on faculty websites. This not only gives existing sites with known domains the flexibility of joining your multi-site network, but is a desirable feature for new sites who may want a custom URL. We used to use WPMU Dev's domain mapping plugin, but we moved to using native domain mapping last year. We have to coordinate more carefully now as we have to request new SSL certificates along with the CNAME changes. We only offer domains within uci.edu due to the limitations of our single sign-on. Have advanced options if the service is too limited. We know that our service will not meet everyone's needs. We recommend it only for basic sites. We help our clients by guiding them to advanced web hosting options and staying in touch if they have questions. I am proud of what we've been able to accomplish, but I'm even more proud of what others are able to accomplish by using these services. We have a directory that shows public websites. I'm often amazed by the creativity and incredible sites that we host. That I can help facilitate that work makes my heart soar. I told my boss recently that running these services changed my job into a career. I'd also like to give a quick thank you to Rachel Cherry and WPCampus for accepting my session proposal. I'd like to thank Paul Gislow and Pat Lockley for their weekly vulnerable plugin lists. I've been sharing the list with our other WordPress admins on campus. It's a great service that is helping keep our sites more secure. This session was recorded after the conference. There were technical difficulties with both the live stream and the recording. This is unfortunate because we had a great question and answer session that lasted almost 20 minutes. You can still ask questions via the form on the session page. I'm happy to answer them and they will appear on the site.